5 Fascinating Crusade Stories. You probably haven't heard the Crusades are often remembered in broad strokes: holy wars, knights in chainmail, Jerusalem in flames. But hidden beneath those sweeping images are lesser-known, deeply human stories that reveal how strange, ambitious, and complex the crusading world truly was. Here are 5 you likely never learned in school. 1. The Children's Crusade, 1212. A march of innocence and tragedy. In the summer of 1212, thousands of young people, mostly teenagers and possibly some younger children, set out across Europe, believing they were on a divine mission to reclaim the Holy Land. They carried no weapons, only faith. Leaders. A shepherd boy named Stephen of Cloyes in France claimed he had received a letter from Christ. In Germany, a boy named Nicholas of Cologne inspired a similar movement. The plan. According to popular belief, God would part the seas or miraculously provide ships to carry them to Jerusalem. Their mission? Convert Muslims through peaceful witness, not warfare. What really happened? Most never made it past Italy. Many died from exhaustion and starvation. Some were allegedly tricked by merchants who offered free transport, only to sell them into slavery. Why it matters? Though often exaggerated or romanticized, this story reveals how deeply crusading ideas penetrated medieval society, and how dangerous unmoored religious zeal could become. 2. Saint Francis and the Sultan, 1219. A meeting of minds in the midst of war. During the brutal Fifth Crusade, while armies clashed near Damietta in Egypt, an unexpected visitor crossed enemy lines. Not a knight, but a barefoot friar. The man, Francis of Assisi, later canonized, believed it was his mission to spread peace, even in a time of war. The encounter. He requested and received an audience with Sultan al-Kamil, Saladin's nephew and the ruler of Egypt. The conversation. Sources say they discussed religion and philosophy respectfully, even as their armies fought nearby. The Sultan was so impressed, he offered Francis gifts and safe return. Historical value. This peaceful encounter stands in stark contrast to the violence of the Crusades, highlighting moments of diplomacy and mutual respect that are often overlooked. 3. The Floating Siege Tower of Damietta, 1218. When warfare met ingenuity. During the same Fifth Crusade, Crusaders encountered a formidable obstacle: a fortified tower on the Nile River that blocked access to the Egyptian city of Damietta. The challenge. Traditional siege tactics failed. The tower's river position made it nearly untouchable. The solution. Crusader engineers constructed a massive floating siege tower, essentially a castle on a ship, reinforced with hides to resist fire. It was towed upstream under cover of night. The outcome. The attack worked. Crusaders stormed the tower, breaching one of the city's key defenses. Why it's remarkable? It's one of the most innovative siege techniques of the Middle Ages, blending naval power with land tactics in a bold and unexpected way. 4th. Renaud of Châtillon, the Crusader who became a pirate, 1170s–1187. Not all Crusaders fought with honor. Renaud of Châtillon gained infamy for his cruelty, ambition, and for becoming a self-styled pirate king in the desert. His crimes. Renaud violated truces and launched unauthorized raids into Muslim territory. Most shockingly, he built ships in the desert, dragged them to the Red Sea, and attacked Muslim trade and pilgrimage routes, threatening Mecca itself. The reaction. His actions enraged Saladin, who saw them as blasphemous provocations. Renaud became a marked man. His end. After the decisive Battle of Hattin, 1187, Saladin captured Renaud and executed him personally, an unusual act, as Saladin usually spared noble captives. Historical impact. Renaud's provocations played a direct role in Saladin's campaign to reclaim Jerusalem, actions that helped lead to the fall of the city later that year. 5. Christian-Muslim alliances. War wasn't always religious. Despite popular depictions, the Crusades weren't simple us versus them religious wars. In many cases, Christians allied with Muslims, and vice versa, when it served their political interests. Key examples: the Principality of Antioch, a Crusader state, sometimes allied with the Danish men Turks against rival Muslim powers. Saladin himself made tactical truces with certain Christian leaders to focus on larger enemies or consolidate power internally. Why this happened? Power, land, trade, and local disputes often mattered more than religious ideology. Loyalties shifted rapidly based on who posed the greatest threat, or who could offer the most strategic advantage. What it shows: the Crusades were not a monolithic religious clash, but a tangled web of competing interests, temporary truces, and opportunistic diplomacy. Conclusion: these lesser-known episodes offer a more nuanced view of the Crusades, revealing them not just as holy wars, but as events shaped by youth movements, diplomacy, military innovation, political opportunism, and human complexity. Understanding them deepens our view of the medieval world and reminds us that history is rarely black and white. If you liked today's video, please like and subscribe. Also, feel free to comment different topics you think we should cover next.